like the WNBA, right? Now, all these people are watching the WNBA. All these new critics are now watching. Everyone has opinions. There's all these old hardcore WNBA fans who are like, we don't care about your opinions because you weren't here.
What did you just say? What? That's a thing? Old hardcore WNBA fans?
Yeah.
That's a fucking lie.
Ex-players is really what it is, mostly what it boils down to. But the idea being that, like, more people are watching it, which means you're going to have more opinions, which means you're going to have more criticism, which means you're going to have more people who are going to go, I've been here since yada, 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 and I don't care about but it's actually a good thing, right? Because it means there's more eyes on the product. There are more people getting involved. There are more people who, just because they don't know everything doesn't mean that their opinion isn't valid. And that has a lot of time has been the what I'm most surprised by of nerd culture moving to mainstream is we've gotten through those gatekeepers, because nerds at one point were very protective of theirs. And if you didn't know every little detail about the thing they were into, then you could go take a hike. When meanwhile, you might just be watching Iron Man for the first time and going, hey, I never read the comics, but this was cool. I'm into this.
Yeah.
And
I always felt like if nerds, they were so alone for so long, like, you should be accepting of everybody. You know what I mean? Like, that's the one thing you've wanted all along, was to be accepted as a nerd, right? You're now being accepted and you think you have the right to cast people off, right? Like, don't you remember what that felt like? Like, who do you think you are, nerd? It comes down to being like, there are people who are gracious winners and gracious losers, and there are people who are bad winners and bad losers. When you have that kind of gatekeeping thing, those are people who are bad winners. Like, oh, I see you finally like the things I like now. Now I'll use it to make you feel small. And that's what I'm most surprised by, that nerd, culture was able to overcome and get into the mainstream, because there's a ton of that, man.
Working Perspectives Podcast. Please like and subscribe.